So it looks like CIG have seen the community response, and it has continued to be extremely negative, and have decided to make a bit of a concession, but it may be too little too late to get ahead of the negativity that's already spread out to the wider internet covering gaming news. Channels like Luke Stevens have already made a video on the subject, and they're the people who are now setting the narrative for why this decision was made, and unfortunately that narrative is that CIG is running out of money, and that the items that they're selling are purely pay to win. It doesn't matter whether or not either of those things are true, this is the consequence to making decisions without thinking about the consequences ahead of time. These are lessons that could have been learned by looking at other major studios who published similar anti-consumer practices. One of the most famous examples that I care a lot about is how Battlefront 2 released. Originally, it released with loot box progression. In order to progress your character, you needed to get a loot box that would randomly give you progression in some random area of the game. It was a terrible system, and by the time they changed it, it was far too late. The entire community had already moved on from the game, and they really had the struggle to try to bring those people back, and unfortunately, they never did. What I worry here is that this is a tactic that they're using, the marketing team. It's one that we've seen before from other industries, other major publishers in the gaming sphere, and it's one where they push the envelope. They make something that's a bit egregious and just see how the community responds. And if it's too much, they pull it back. And they just keep repeating this and see how far they can push that line forward towards more and more anti-consumer practices. But I'll say this, there is a line that you can cross when there's no going back, when you've done so much damage that you'll never get back the people that you lost. And I'm looking at the comment sections of my video, of the Spectrum forums, of other videos like Luke Stevens, of Salty Mike, and there are tons of people who are saying right now that they're walking away. This is really bad for CIG. So next time when there's a decision to be made about a new feature that they want to add into the game, and somebody from marketing says we could sell this, somebody in the room needs to say, maybe that's a bad idea. And there needs to be a serious discussion about whether or not, instead of introducing new items first on the store page, whether or not they should be first introduced in-game for gameplay. Because in my mind, if you get people playing the game, they're more likely to want to spend more money. Sure, you can sell everything on the website as a bypass to playing the game, as a bypass to progression. And while sure, they're gonna get some short-term gains from this, they're probably gonna have long-term losses that aren't gonna be really easy to see. They're gonna have to work extra hard now just to earn as much money to make up for the people who are no longer going to spend any. And to speak to their solution to just making it so that every item that you buy in this sale is available only when it's available to everybody in-game, I'm not even really super comfortable with that either. They're starting to sell items that give you a potentially clear advantage according to some people in the community who've done some testing, which is another way of saying it's pay to win. Alright, I'm gonna be real with you guys right here about my channel. This type of content isn't as attractive as some people in the community think it is. Some people think I make this content for clickbait, that this is how I get extra views, but I'll tell you, looking at my own statistics, that over time, these videos get far fewer viewers, far fewer subscribers. In fact, I lose subscribers sometimes when I talk about these controversial subjects. So every time I do a video like this, it's a risk to my channel. So I do it because I care about the subject. I do it because I genuinely want to speak out against anti-consumer practices. And I hope in the end the effect might be that we get just a little bit better of a game for everybody. So hopefully I can get back to making videos that are fun, that people enjoy watching, that find entertaining, because those are the ones that I enjoy making most, and the ones that you guys enjoy the most as well, looking at my statistics. So yeah, CIG, do better. I'm ready to move on. I was planning on making other videos this weekend. Today's my birthday. I didn't want to be making this video on my birthday. I wanted to be out having fun, so I'm gonna go do that, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hope to see you in the next one.